Hey everybody, Rhadamant here for episode 41 of the Blacklight Sellers series. So, a quick recap, we've not made any work towards the... I guess we kind of made Four Eyes bionic. She has one bionic part, but yeah, not really truly bionic yet. Actually, she doesn't even have a bionic part yet. Wolf hasn't done this surgery. But before I get going, I also wanted to address a lot of the comments I've been receiving. So, yes, there is a way to make 100 people in a ship feasible. If I put all of my best pawns in one community, min-maxed that community out to the nines to have the least amount of wealth, the least amount of colonists, the least amount of items, and the strongest defenses, only built a reactor, fired up only the reactor, defended it for the 15 days, and then had all of the other, let's say, 80 pawns come in, load into cryo, and blast off, yes, that would be feasibly possible. The way you would do that is you would have like 4 communities of drug dens, basically, that feed plasteel and uranium to the primary community. So the primary community has the least amount of pawns, because what determines raid size is mostly colony size. And if we look at my current wealth here, almost all of my wealth here is pawn. There's not a lot of wealth in items or buildings, which means most of my raids are driven from the pawn count that I have, but the pawns I have aren't particularly useful. A lot of these pawns are crippled. A lot of these pawns are one leg or one arm or something like that. They're not your A-team, right? I have a few A-team pawns, but not all of them. And as a result, the raid size is getting ridiculous, but my ability to defend myself is not. And that's just indicative of the game. The game doesn't scale very well with what I'm trying to do. If you go into the dev menu, you can only actually create raids of 5,000 points. And if you're wondering how raid strength is calculated, you can go Google it. I'm not going to go, this is not a game mechanics video. I am already racking up 10,000k raids, higher than the 5,000 point raids that are the limit of the dev menu for spawning raid sizes. So we're already sort of beyond what Tynan, the developer, even sort of envisioned as a colony. We are larger than he had intended. I think RimWorld's original intent was to keep colonies around 20 or so. All the storytellers were originally designed to basically try to murder you if you went above 20 or so. If you're curious about that, you can always look up the storytellers. Each storyteller has a minimum, I think it's usually 4, that the storyteller wants you to have at least 4 people. But then each storyteller has a different maximum amount of pawns, and when you go over that maximum, they try to murder you because they basically dictate that you have too many, and they aim to kill you. So that's also what's going on here. But that's fine. So yes, there are ways to make this feasible, to make it accomplishable, but that wasn't actually the intention of this series. This series is to just make one big, large community. And as a result, I'd have to say, if this was Mythbusters, this myth was busted. And the reason I'm going to bust the myth is mostly because of the limitations of the game engine. So let's say I had 100 pawns. They weren't in cryo. The raids I'd be getting would be in the 400 range. And 400 pirates potting in the middle of your base with like maybe 25 doomsday launchers. There's really no amount of preparation to ever be ready for a raid like that. 15 doomsday launchers in the middle of your base is going to wipe your base out. It's a death raid. Yes, you could like leave the map, but that's just cheating, in my opinion. Just like leaving the map. Yeah, I don't think that's a viable solution. So the game just doesn't scale like that. There are mods that allows you to scale that way, and that they've been suggested, but you all know me. I might change the UI a little bit. So, for instance, I have this relations UI to be able to see the relationship between people. I added that recently, or the crafting tab icons. That was added recently. But ultimately, I'm more or less a vanilla player, and as a result, you know, I'm not going to mod for a viable solution. That just also seems like cheating to me. So as a net result, what I'll be doing is just doing my best to try to keep this community going without sort of cheesing it or exploiting something or whatever. We're just going to truck along the way we're trucking, in other words. And I think that's fine. I think that's totally a legitimate way to play. But the exciting thing is we will be having a new series, obviously, as a result, coming up. At some point, whenever this fails, basically, we'll have a new series going. So you can all be excited about that, I guess. All right, so what I'm doing now is resetting the zones so that they can start hauling and repairing and rebuilding and putting walls up. Because, yeah, there was some damage done to the base. I think ideally what I would do is to try to get a lot of these corpses hauled away. And I think at this point, I'm more or less... Yeah, Menmi is the only one that needs treatment. So I've basically treated everyone to the point where they don't need to have surgery. Or anything. It's just a little bit of starvation for Menmi. DQ, you can feed her, right? Wolf was doing it, but DQ will do it. I also have this other community, and they are actually looking pretty good. This one didn't get super slaughtered like my primary one. They were spared. So we're definitely going to start to need the freezers next. Now, I did have a question of why I built it the way I built it, and it's because the I built it around the rough stone, essentially. Actually, we don't really need a light there. So if you look at beauty, the rough stone you can walk on. It's not great, but this won't generate any filth, is really the kicker. I wanted to avoid filth generation. So Penguin's almost in a point where he can start taming boomalopes, and then I can check that whole boomalope ranch off my list, which would be really, really cool, because that's been hanging around since basically day one. And I feel bad about not getting that done sooner. Oh, look, there's you. Ah, I thought I saw Jade. Well, my eyes really deceived me. Buffalo, you're getting hunted next. I think we're probably done with the pigs. And we'll build the dresser first. It is dry thunderstorming here. Okay. All right, getting some more of the... Yep, all right, build a little roof. And this roof is so that we can throw some batteries that aren't exposed to the outside there. And maybe toss in a... well, this community barely uses any power. So might not even need that. We'll build a little stove. Ah, Poopy's up. And it means that she is a bipedal, or monopedal cannibal now. Let's go ahead and add a peg leg in her left. That'll speed her up a little bit. Not perfect, not bionic by any means, but that at least keeps her moving. That counts for something, right? Boy, oh boy, there is a lot of weapons here. I'm gonna turn on the smelter, and let's go smelt weapons. Iqua, spear, club. Yeah. What else do they have down here? Clubs, spears, Iqua. Yep, that's about it. Hey, Mr. Jarrett, let's get you some ambrosia. They brought it down for us. We might as well use it. Endelos. Alright, some of this betting got screwed up. So, Vex and Dano. Excuse me, Dano. There we go. Now Endelos doesn't have to sleep on the ground. Stockpile of meals. I don't care what type. Doesn't really matter to me. Going for a walk, that's fine. I don't want to dig into the overhead mountain. So I'm checking up on that as I go. Mr. Penguin, can you mine at all? No, not really, but sort of. I don't expect big fights here. So I'm not going to really install like a huge amount of defenses. But I'll install some in the case of some sort of conflict. Let's moving things around a little bit. Alrighty. So, just a reminder, turrets don't actually benefit from sandbags. So the sandbags are for human shooters, not for any other reason. Turrets, despite the tooltip, yeah, they literally do not benefit from sandbagging. Just a wee reminder. And we have a psychic drone low. Yay! So already, I guess they're getting some loving. They'll be a little happier. Then everything else, all this meat here. Meat. I'll call it meaty. My finger accidentally hit Y, but hey, that works, right? We'll just put raw food in there. And then our butcher dump will be here. And we will put corpses of animals that are not rotten here. I'm going to destroy this whole zone. And then the rest of this is just going to be a general stockpile for leathers and whatnot. And we'll put that on low, not allow rotten. Okay. As you can see, there's, I think, rabbits that are coming to try to eat our pork. And that's a big no-no. Okay, back to the main community. We are dealing with an overabundance of corpses. I think the best solution here is to, again, stockpile them all up and burn them all. So we'll put a important for fresh rotten, because this is critical, right? This in here. Let me double check. Yeah, that's critical. So important of human likes. We didn't have any colonists die, so that works. Eagle will cremate what's up there so we don't have to double haul it. People with really low moods. Alright, Camisea, let's have you drink some tea and consume some ambrosia. I'm just trying to keep them from mental breaking. A lot of the people that are like currently bed rested they're not getting fed or anything, so we need to unbed rest them. Horn's doing a pretty good job of stocking the corpses up. That works. 0 day, and Poopy's still down. 0 day, let's go consume some corpses. So, there was also a big discussion about corpses. And I just wanted to mention that, yes, there'd be a greater benefit to Zero Day if I butchered them. But then that would piss off basically everyone else in the entire community in doing so. Basically a very, very bad idea. So, yeah, like, I could gain benefit from that, but if you butcher a human, like, that's -6 for each individual that isn't a psychopath or cannibal or bloodlust, and that would net pretty negative. Why is my butcher not butchering? So, yeah, eating raw cannibalism is eating a corpse is -12, but then raw cannibalism is +20. So it's a net +8 that doesn't really affect anyone else. No, if you look, no one else cares that he ate a corpse. He does that on his own accord. So that's why I've been doing it that way. Because the alternative is not so great. All right, CC is butchering for some meat. These guys in here are eating raw meat because Endelos ain't cooking yet. Don't do that, Vex. I thought 5 meals stockpiled would be enough. Clearly, it is not. And another prison break. How? Okay, Link is already in there. That's not good. Poopy, you're... Poopy... Okay, Poopy is different from Poppy. That's a little confusing, but that's fine. We, at this point, really don't have the capacity to deal with prison breaks anymore. So, yeah, we'll do our best to put this down. But, I'm surprised given how limbless they are. Leth is down already. Velik is close, so we'll have him chime in. Wildman, you're close too. Now, trouble is, any one of my people gets knocked out, they will pick up the gun and start turning on me with guns. So, oh, Nara, you don't even have a weapon. I'm assuming you had this uranium. Oh, well, Masterwork was probably Leth's. We'll leave that for Leth. Jirat's coming in. He's all excited about the potential of killing someone, so... Get out of my stockpile. Oh, this is not going to end well for you, Frog. Alright, Cole and Deef back up. Oh, you docked? Okay, well, he's obviously bleeding out like crazy, but... These tribals are really unruly. When they're not attacking me in a 100-person force, they are... Alright, let's give Opossum nothing to shoot at. Oh, they got Deef. Well, Opossum. And down they go. Alright, and we'll start capturing. How did Vaughn even get up? I didn't think he had legs. I guess he does have legs. Wait, why did I think he didn't have legs? Oh, he's missing one. I guess I thought he was missing two. Well, the thing is, some of these people will get proper beds now, because we have fewer enemies in our prison. Having that prison break next to all this, like, horrible butchering noises is kind of funny. And I'm sure a lot of them need medical care. I'll start working on that. But, you know, I think at the moment they're still considered guilty. Yeah, so if they die, they die. It's not even a mood debuff. I'm just trying to capture them all. Alright, let's check who needs medical care. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. It's all human fists. Jira got a few great bow bruises or whatever, but nothing that's going to kill me. Well, the catharsis will be good for Dano. And you can see the aftermath here. Cole and Deef and... Who's that weapon? I don't even know. Wow, you are stressed. Seeing all these corpses are very stressful for some of the pawns. But if he goes to sleep, he'll be alright. Can't have a mental break when sleeping, right? Just thinking about other ways to generate power. Alright, let's triage this a little bit better. Memi's already going to you. Poppy? Poopy's already going to you. Yeah, I think they're all going to be fine. All the ones that survived the original attack. Oh, this is almost all tiled up. That's pretty cool. Yes, I need to add to my power. There's just a lot of stuff I need, so I'm trying to do it as quick and judiciously as I can. Nothing's perfect, but hey, just got to try my best, right? That's what matters. All right, we ought to try to get that beautiful stove up and running because this fire has gone out. I think at this point I can cancel the rest of whatever trees I have to cut. In fact, some of our wood is just literally getting burned. There is a lot of cleanup. This is like true Viscera cleanup crew territory here. We have enough steel for another hydro. We don't really have power for it, but I can work on adding some additional power. Really what we need to aim to do is to offset the grow lights. So I will add 2 more solar here, which will help, which means shrinking the zone. The invisible zone I can't actually see around here. Actually, the smoke leaf is... Yeah, okay. That's fine. Where is Poppy? Here's Poppy. Okay. Poppy, that's not your bed. This is Endolos's bed. I guess Poppy can keep it for now. It's not like Endolos is currently using it. Velik is still trying to crank out some incendiary shells and the like. Oh, he can't leave, so that's why he can't haul. That makes sense. Whole lot of colonists still needing treatment. Herring, okay. Gonna wake up Wolf, even though he's in a bad mood, to treat his buddy. Yeah, volcanic winter does not do wonders for productivity of crops. Black's gone berserk. I love when... No, you don't get to hit Memi. Oh, you hit me. That was very interesting. A double KO. I like it. I think we really ought to get Leth's... Oh, Leth was punching, too. He didn't actually walk in there with a weapon. So we'll sort that out. Now, there's a few people that got knocked out, like Deef, who need weapons again. There's a lot of pawns that need weapons, to be honest. All right, so this meat stockpile is definitely working out in our favor. Mr. Penguin is working on this electric stove as fast as he can. I'm curious if I have the components. I don't think I do, so I'm gonna go make Vex mine up some components. Trying to give up the beds to people that actually need them. Like Cole here. Poopy. Let's go consume a corpse for some mood. Or Poppy, sorry. Even I'm getting confused. Alright, one run cannibalism is good. Let's haul this thrumbo meat out, because no one else is able to. I'm not sure why they're not stockpiling up the NPM. Griffin, you get to do it. We actually have some meat just sitting around. Alright, wow. Their moods are terrible. Psychic drone, ravenously hungry, all the good stuff. We aren't getting power here because we're not generating it, I suppose. I think it makes more sense to have the solar power panel back here. I think I will... Where is Endelos? These guys are going... What is Muffalo coming at me for? Let's get that fire going, because we don't really have the power to produce food the way we should. At this point, I'm just about ready to send a bunch of these guys back home where they'll be happier and less stressed. Okay, so we actually do have... Okay, we have the stove up and running over there now. Extreme break risks. You're just stressed. Finally, hauling in some of the smoke leaf. Now, I think I tried... Did I make this a smoke leaf? No. Let's fix this. So, here, clear all, and then go to raw resources, plant matter, smoke leaves, and then this bill will just be do this forever. I don't care who does it, drop it on the floor. Oh, nice. Velik's actually crafting up some nice stuff. Soon I'm going to have... Alright, Deef, you ought to go fetch your sniper rifle that you had before. Who else dropped a weapon? Poppy never had a weapon. Who got knocked out? Leth, you need your uranium mace. Let's go through that real quick. Deef is already getting a weapon. Camisea needs some sort of melee. She was melee before. So once she's done with whatever she's doing, I have no idea what melee weapon she had. Was she a meleeer? Yeah, she could be a shooter. So we'll give her this assault rifle. Oh, we got Vaughn to join, even though he was just part of the prison break. So, let's check him out. He is kind and won't do drugs. So, no drugs. No lavish. Work. Poppy also doesn't have work. I thought I did that, but I guess I didn't. He can be a warden for everyone else as well. And when he's not warding, he'll clean. And Poppy, you're going to clean too, because you don't really have any good limbs yet. We're working on it. I don't even want you constructing, because you don't have 2 arms. Alright, so we actually have some okay power here. These should be set to freezing temperatures. Keep this meat nice and unspoiled. This should be unpowered. Don't need to keep that powered, it's expensive. Velik is cranking out some masterwork, that's cool. Luna, you had started art. Yeah, you're still prioritized for art. You should probably have bigger things to do. Vaughn here, you need some sort of peg leg. If I go to numbers, Poppy doesn't need good meds anymore. We already put the leg in her, I think. Yes, she already has a peg leg. So her movement speed is not great, but it's actually not that terrible considering she's 1 peg, because she has the other one is bionic. But her breathing is bad. Yeah, she's missing a lot of organs. If there was anyone to be a contender for Luciferium, it would probably be her. Shutting that thing off. This is a decent little barracks. He wants to destroy a fab bench. How capable is he at destroying said fab bench? And where is my nearest pawn that could repair it? Sergio's not that close. It's too bad I can't just like uninstall it. Be like, yoink! Sorry. There's no fab bench. Deef, you're a constructor. Alright, Zero Day. Try to arrest Wolf. Yep, turned into a fight. Kinda saw that coming. But trying to replace a fab bench is a little annoying. They're kind of expensive. And I'm very much out of resources. Okay. Thank you, Zero Day. Let's rescue him. And these rolling blackouts are getting a little tiresome. We still, haven't really worked on that. Ooh, but this stockpile looks nice and full. That's very cool. We'll have to take advantage of that soon. All right, low food. Yeah, I know. I know. So 0 day is the only one that needs treatment. How does Wolf not need treatment? Where did Wolf go? He needs treatment too. I don't know why it's not showing up here. Slept in the cold. I can actually do something about that. But I'm gonna let Penguins just smash up whatever. I want him to have the catharsis, because he's the only one that's really binging on Psychite. We even have... I guess we do have Psychite. God, everyone's wounded. Alright. Now there's no more Psychite. So, she can't really binge, can she? Haha. Ooh, I don't really have a home area, do I? I'm surprised I hadn't noticed that a little sooner. But that's what happens when you've got 20 irons in the fire. Speaking of irons in the fire, because I've been so busy, I am over my time here. So thank you all for watching. I do hope that you keep tuning in. But like I said, this a lot of the suggestions you have aren't necessarily going to be taken. I have to consider the original intent of the series and the goals of the series. So yes, there are ways to potentially achieve this challenge, but this wasn't a challenge. This is just a role-playing series, so it's treated a little bit differently. Regardless, I do agree that there are some steps I can take. Hubert Farnsworth's tips are probably the best that I saw of all of the comments about getting lances, psychic and shock lances, to try to deal with the doomsday launchers. But ultimately, if I had mechs or pirates land in the middle of the Black Lake community, there's really not much prep that you can do. There's not really a way to counter raids of that size. Now, if I had a community of 10 or 20, yeah, the enemies would only number in the 10 or 20s. But I have a community of actually, I was supposed to... Well, let's do a quick head count. So, numbers. I have 26 in one and 6 in the other. So, having 26 people here, and most of them not being super high-functioning pawns, if I had a pirate raid that dropped on me, I'd probably be looking at roughly 60 to 80, maybe not 80, but 60 pirates or so, and probably 8 doomsday launchers and triple launchers. Just to put that in perspective. So yeah, suggestions like IEDing everywhere or adding mortars everywhere or trying to mortar up, they don't really address the real danger. Tribal raids aren't a true danger to me, as I've demonstrated twice. Pirates with doomsday launchers, with like at least half a dozen doomsday launchers dropping in the middle of my base, that's more of what I'm expecting. Killing off tribals is pretty easy, right? So, when you're making your suggestions, please consider all of the attack types of pirates or mechs dropping into the middle of the base, because I can try to prepare myself for easy raids to beat, like tribals, but that doesn't ultimately really matter. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your feedback. If you'd like to discuss Black Lake, a lot of you seem to want to in YouTube comments. It's really hard to have a conversation on YouTube comments, so hop on Discord. And I hope to see you all there. Adios. Thanks for tuning in. See you all next time.